what? I'm going to recreate what I mentioned in my Cigar City review about having a Guinness with my sister like 30 years ago. And she's here.
Hi.
So, after the video, if you want to watch my Cigar City review, fast forward to 7 minutes and 17 seconds and I'll explain why we're going to do what we're going to do right now, because it's going to look a little weird. But we got some...
A lot weird.
Yeah. We got some Guinness here. We got 2 cans because I like Guinness and I don't want to really destroy it. But 30 years ago, I didn't like Guinness and I destroyed it. So I'm going to destroy it now, just to have a little flashback of what it was like back in those days. So, my memory, I thought it was a Civil War era restaurant, and it was.
It was.
Moultrie's?
Moultrie Tavern.
It was called Moultrie Tavern 1862. I believe it's closed now, but it was in Charleston.
Yes.
So we ate there, and it was really like being in Civil War times. I mean, there was like, candles, and the food was just basic food. But she must have ordered a Guinness for me while I went to the bathroom or something, because I didn't drink Guinness back then, and I didn't like it.
Now set the stage. I'm his big sister. I'm the older sister. He's a tough newbie Marine, and he's not going to let big sister show him up.
No. Well, I don't know many Marines that drank Guinness. We all drank cheap, light beers. But I did drink it.
Yes, he did.
But
Modified.
How did I drink it? Well, let me get some glasses out here. You gonna drink it normally?
Oh,
Yeah.
I'll try. Actually, I didn't try the raw sugar.
Oh, yeah.
So I'll try. I'll be brave. I'll try.
So back then, let me pour this into the glass. This is a regular Guinness Drought Staffed. Got the little, I don't know if you can hear that, the little ball inside. It's got the nitrogen. Oh yeah, it always sounds like a spaceship when you open those nitrogen beers up.
Creamy.
I pour these all hard. If you want to pour yours in any kind of other way, you can go ahead and pour that. But see these dark beers, they don't get a big head when you pour them hard. It's just, see this? This is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
This is cheap entertainment. The way it's cascading down, it's beautiful. But, so back then, 30 some years ago, so I had this glass of Guinness on the table, and I'm like, oh geez, this is so dark, I can't see through it. Gosh. I tried to taste it. Oh, yuck, it was bitter. It was dark and bitter. It was not a light beer. It was just nasty. So, what I had to do, let me go ahead and top this off here. I didn't remember this, but I guess I scooped out the foam.
He was basically stabbing it with a fork, saying that it's not something you should drink, it's something you should eat.
I never seen anything like this before. So, but guess what they had on the table? It's a restaurant, so they had this. A little bowl filled with raw sugar. Oh, I wish I wouldn't have poured this whole glass because I didn't want to destroy the whole glass because I like how this tastes. Now I gotta destroy this whole glass, but that's okay. Because I think in my original video, in my original memories, I put like 4 packs of raw sugar in the Guinness just so I could drink it, because it was
Possibly more.
it was very bitter. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Ooh. Look at that raw sugar. It's just like, I know you can't see it, but it's like it's sitting on the foam. It's just like in a little. Oh, there it goes.
That's,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm having flashbacks now. I'll go ahead and put 4 packs of this in there, because I don't know, that's what I said in the Cigar City review, and even though that memory was 30 years old, it might be a little bit off, but 4 sounds like a good number. I don't want to put 8.
This is so beautiful how it's
Oh my goodness, can
settling.
you see that? This looks like Southern sweet tea. If you've ever seen Southern sweet tea, it's like half the bottom of my glass is clear because they put so much sugar in it that I don't even know if this stuff, oh jeez, it's like stirring sand.
It looks like sand.
Hopefully that sweetness will come up into the whole beer.
You almost need a...
And it quickly fell back down to the bottom, but I'm going to give it a sip and see what it's like. It's actually sweet.
Let me try. I didn't
sweet.
try this in the original.
It tastes to me like a sweeter coffee. Not like a super sweet coffee, but just enough to knock the bitterness of a black coffee off.
Yeah, like a good cold brew coffee.
Yeah, but with that raw sugar, if you're not familiar, it's like a coarser, it's not like white table sugar that's small. These are big,
Grains.
big crystals or something. So yeah, they don't even like dissolve. Like, I mean, you can put sugar in tea and stir it and it kind of disappears. This kind of just, you stir it and it just falls back to the bottom. Yeah. But, it's not bad.
It's not bad.
I don't think I ruined it. I do
No.
like, I mean, look how beautiful that looks. It's dark with that nice kind of tan head. And the weird thing was, back then, was she didn't even like beer, but she liked Guinness.
Right.
Whereas I loved beer, but it had to be light beer. I didn't like dark beer. And the weird thing is
Look at that.
now, 30 years in the future, I like dark beer.
You're right, though. They can't see this out there, but when you hold that up to the bright lights that we have for
and
filming,
those lights are insanely bright. So it's so dark that you really can't see through it. And when you can, it's kind of red. You see, it's red there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's almost. That's a flavor that I've tasted before, but I can't picture what.
It doesn't remind you of one of the other beers
No.
you featured?
It tastes like something that's like a food that's burnt that shouldn't be burnt, but then it's got a little sweetness to it.
Let me see.
Of course, the flavor that I'm thinking of, it might be 30 years ago when I tried this beer with sugar in it. That might be what the flavor is, because, you know, it's like your brain, like with smells.
Right.
You can go 30 years without smelling a smell, but if there was a smell that happened in your life and it triggered some kind of a memory, like back then, like for me, being a Marine, CS gas, that's tear gas. They don't use it every day, but sometimes I'll just be out and I'll catch a whiff of something that smells kind of like tear gas, and it immediately perks my ears up, and I'm like, why is there tear gas? I mean, we used to get gas with it all the time, so I know what it smells like, so why is that out in the real world? I mean, I'm not in a riot zone or anything, so I don't know.
Does it taste like the coating on a creme brulee? Is that it?
That's exactly what it is. So, yeah, and I'm thinking that, you see the like amount of the sugar, it looks like it's going down. So I think the longer it's sitting in there, those crystals are becoming more incorporated.
Yes.
What do you call it?
Yes.
They're like being absorbed into the beer. So it looks like the crystals are disappearing like normal sugar would, you'd think.
Yes, it's definitely blending.
Yeah, it does immediately fall right back to the bottom, but it's not off-putting. I mean, it's
Let me do a compare contrast here. Oh, I want to do
yeah, I could
definitely the burnt sugar creme brulee topping.
but the burnt sugar, the bitterness of the Guinness and the sweetness of the sugar, it gives it the burnt sugar.
But
flavor.
I don't recommend drinking this first and then drinking this, because now this tastes flat, and
Well,
this is not flat.
Let me have a taste of that, and I'll see.
Yeah.
First off, you drink it. You gotta drink it like this.
Oh,
It does. It makes it taste flat, and I know it's not, because, you know, these are the nitrogen beers. These got a lot of. Remember, what was his name? Don Ho?
yes.
Yeah, Don Ho, the Hawaiian guy. Tiny bubbles. That's what these nitrogen beers have, is tiny bubbles. But drinking that did taste flat.
Very
We just poured it.
disappointing.
Yeah, I do not like a flat beer. However, look at this. See, the sugar is now.
Yes.
I bet if we waited like 3 more minutes and I stirred it, the sugar would totally be like distributed through the whole beer and not sunk down to the bottom.
When he was talking about eating it with a
It's
fork,
getting sweeter.
1991, all those years ago, we decided that this was the meat and potatoes, or the corned beef and cabbage of beers, of stouts.
It took me a lot of years before I liked the stouts. And now, of course, I don't think there's any better stout than Guinness. This has like been around forever. 1759. So, clearly they got it right. And clearly I ruined it by putting the sugar in it, but you know what? I'm not going to waste it. Oh, that is like, my teeth are starting to itch. It's so sweet.
It is diffusing more, so let me see. Yeah, no longer the burnt sugar creme brulee taste. It's more, I don't know what you would call that. So maybe it's more like the childhood memory we have. You know, we grew up with limited financial resources, and so we came up with creative ways to have fun. Mom and Dad were out of the house for one weekend, and so he and I got this brilliant idea to mix together cake batter and suck the powder balls, we didn't have it mixed up very well, through with a straw. Do you remember that?
Of course.
This is recreating more that kind of experience. Definitely much more cake batter-like as the sugar mixes.
Yeah, it's like I said, the more the sugar's getting soaked into the beer, the sweeter it's getting. And it's kind of like, I don't like the super sweet beers. If it's a sweetness from the fruit, I can get it, but that's like maybe I was a bit heavy-handed with 4 packets of the raw sugar. It should have been just maybe 1.
I don't know. I seem to
But I
remember.
know, back in those days, like I say, if you drink light beer, you are not going to like a Guinness, because Guinness is the total opposite end of the spectrum from light beers. So the only way I could deal with that is just to sweeten it up a bit with the sugar. So I don't think I wasted it back then. I'm pretty sure I
you drank it. You drank every last bit. Like I said, you weren't going to let your big sister show you up.
Yeah, just because I didn't like it doesn't mean I didn't finish it. I mean, I say, I wasn't raised to raise food. You got to eat what's in front of you. This was in front of me, so I ate it. Oh, that's like a candy, like
Yeah. Coffee candy in a way.
yeah, it tastes like candy now. It's like a melted candy because it's liquidy instead of hard.
I want to get the full effect. Oh, look at that sliding off the knife.
Oh, yeah, look, and it's like, there's like very little sugar clumping in the bottom of the glass now. So I don't recommend putting sugar in your Guinness, but this was just a recreate. Like I said, when I mentioned in the Cigar City review about visiting my sister in Charleston, and she ordered a Guinness, and I couldn't drink it because it was bitter and nasty, and I had to put raw sugar in it. Just wanted to recreate it to see what it was like, and now that I've done it, I regret recreating this. I would have rather just drank it plain, but I got overzealous. I dumped the whole beer in the glass, so I didn't really have any good Guinness left over, but I know there's 2 more in the fridge, so I'm alright. Good idea. Very good idea.
Big sister's still taking care of him.
As long as all the sugar clumps aren't left in the wine glass. I don't think she's tipping it enough to get the sugar out of the wine glass. But that's okay. It's mixing.
Let's see. I think we're close. Let me make it even. Oh, that's close enough. Let's see. There's still some sugar in there, but
yeah. Let's see what she tastes like.
Tolerable.
Yeah, it's still pretty sweet.
Yeah.
But it's okay. I prefer it straight, but if you don't like it, maybe if you add a little sugar to it, you'll segue into it. Raw sugar, maybe you should use regular sugar, because like I said, this is very coarse. It's
what was available.
Yeah, it was what was in the restaurant, so that's what we used 30 years ago. So I just remember it looks like that's like big crystals of sugar. This is raw sugar, so this is like, I don't know.
Very coarse sand.
They squeeze the sugar cane and it comes up with this. It's not like bleach. It's not white. It's kind of brownish, brown sugary looking crystals. It's good on its own. Don't put it in the beer. I can't believe you just soiled my clean glass. What is this? I tell you, my bar is getting sabotaged. I just found a pin inside my next glass that I was going to use.
Somebody's out for you.
Yeah.
Swallowing a push
Yeah,
pin.
that's who gave me the thumbs down on a couple of my videos. There's a saboteur out there, but that's okay. So, I'm going to sign off. Thanks for coming with me on this flashback of 30-some years. Like I said, if you haven't checked out my Cigar City review, check it out. You'll have to wait until 7 minutes and 17 seconds before I talk about what we just did right here. But check it out. Thanks you for liking and subscribing, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Till then.